About 1 year ago, Samsung Electronics had some idea of Tizen platform improvement. It was something like, let's design and develop accessibility solution for newly born Tizen platform. It will greatly improve user experience. This will make our Tizen devices available for people suffering from different kind of disabilities. Great. The idea is really great. We faced a problem how to design the solution, which should be generic. In one hand, we have a half-matured platform, which is actually already developed. We have a wide range of developed applications for Tizen. And in the other hand, we have to incorporate advanced solution, which should be generic for this platform. This was the major problem that we have to solve. Samsung Electronics started to look for some experts who could support us in execution of this task. Finally, we found Comarch Corporation, and we decided that this will be the best partner who could help us to design. And after all, we decided for development outsourcing to Comarch Corporation. And this was a very good decision, and currently we have, in my private opinion, good solution for Tizen platform. For now, let me introduce Mr. Michał Knapiński, who will guide you through the main part of this presentation.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to say shortly about what is accessibility. Then I would like to present type of disabilities that can be spotted over the whole world, and then I will say something about our solution of accessibility and how it works in Tizen platform. Later I will present some part of implementation of EAIL, which is the library that we developed. I tried to explain how application developers can make their application more accessible using our solution. And in the end, I would like to also present a screen reader application that we also developed for Samsung Corporation, which is the good example of assistive technology that used accessibility in Tizen. Okay, so what is accessibility? This text here is taken from Wikipedia. I think it pretty well describe this term, that it's just degree to which a product or anything is available to as many people as possible. It's just the ability to access and benefits from some system or entity, and in major cases this term is focused on people with disabilities. It's not the same as usability, which is extent to which a product can be used by specific people. So accessibility is just something that provide direct access to product and its all elements. Here we have some kind of statistics that all over the world there is around 8% of people that suffer from any kind of disabilities which can block them from using the software. So that's really a huge amount of people that possibly can not use the software if it's not properly accessible. So there are a few well, here is a list of disabilities that can be spotted. So it's visual impairments, movement impairments, hearing impairments, cognitive and language impairments, and seizure disorders. All of them are treated as some disabilities and just come into the group of the term of accessibility. So our solution is, from my opinion, mainly focused on visual and hearing impairments. Other ones are rather connected with movement disabilities, which rather are connected with hardware design. So that's rather not in our scope as the software developers. Okay. How accessibility works in Tizen. Here is an architecture of this solution. Our library, which is called EAIL, is a module of elementary, which is also the part of Enlightenment library, which is the main window manager in Tizen. So when elementary application is run, and then the EAIL module is activated, and application is registered in AT-SPI registry, which is responsible for bidirectional communication between the assistive technology layer and application layer. So yes, I think that's it. There's okay. Well, I think that on the other slides we will say more about these parts. So ATK and AT-SPI2 they are the accessibility toolkits and assistive technology service provider interface, and those technology was originally developed by Sun Microsystems, and now we adapt it to Tizen platform. ATK is just a set of interfaces that provide provide different descriptions of the objects of the application, and ATSPI is just the interface that communicate this with the application that can use get use of it. Some few words about the library. EAIL is the short name of the Enlightenment Accessibility Implementation Library. It's implemented just for elementary widgets, and it's a bridge between elementary and ATK. So, as I said, the assistive technology applications like screen reader, for example, can query the accessible information and get use of this information. EAIL is an elementary module, and is loaded whenever we set the Elm module variable, as it's shown here. So if we append this short string to this variable, then the EAIL will be active and ready to work. Here I would like to show that the library emits some ATK events. It's a focus, state change, visible data change, and property change. So every time some element is focused, then the library emits the signal that can be used by this assistive technology. So that's I think that's obvious. What else? Yeah, I list here the widgets that EAIL for which EAIL emits also provides the actions. So also the assistive technology can use it. For example, that's click, press, or release for button, or check for the checkbox. What is more interesting for the list? It might be scrolling in every direction. For map, scrolling and zooming. And what is also very useful for video, we have the actions to manipulate the video content. So move forward or rewind, play, pause, and so on. Coding guidelines, where we'd like to encourage every developer to to make just a little effort to make the application more accessible. And well, as I wrote here, in most cases, it's just setting ATK name and description for visual elements is just enough. In that way, these people with disabilities using some assistive technology will have some well, will have the access to these elements. In many cases, the applications have just graphical interface without any textual content. And for example, for people, blind people or people with such similar disabilities, it's very hard to use such application. So elements that should be taken under consideration to make more accessible is every controls like buttons, checkbox, radios, or scroll bars. I think there are many more entries and graphical elements like images, icons, and so on. So to do this, first step is to use ATK API and get the accessible root object. That's the main object of the application. So it can be done by this ATK object, ATK get root method. And then when we have this root object, we can find the element that we would like to make more accessible. For example, that will be button. Here we use some EAIL function to find the child, providing the name of the element. Okay, so having this object of the button, we can just run the method ATK object set name and giving the correct name that will be more descriptive, and also set the description that might be well, something more like what actually the button do. Here we have some simple sample application that set ATK properties. On the left, there is creating functions of creating the objects, but what is more interesting is on the right. There is a method that is run when the element is focused, and it makes pretty the same what was shown on the previous slides. So setting description and name for the particular element. Okay, so as a summary, well, I would like to show some profits of Tizen accessibility solution. First of all, there are a million of potential users more on the world that can use your application if you make it more accessible. The solution is complete and ready to use. As I showed on previous slides, that's just a few lines of code more. What is more, this accessibility might be also used by automatic testing tools. For example, there is one tool which is called Tadek, and it's developed by Komar also. So it might be useful to in development process to test your application. And on the end, I would like to show the screen reader for Tizen platform. Here are listed some requirements that we get from Samsung Corporation, and I believe most of them are passed, if not all. And I'd like to show it live on a Tizen emulator. Okay, so I run the screen reader. It takes just the top of the screen, so we believe that it should not block any of the platform functions. Underneath there is only a battery, or I think the edit element to this list of application. Okay, so from the console, that's not this console. Yes, that one. So first of all, I need to activate the EAIL library. So as I said, there is a need to export the environmental variable, and okay, so before I launch an application, then I will start the TTS service. This screen reader use the Tizen text-to-speech engine. So I'm starting it, and now I will try to launch the email application.
New element.
Okay.
Window email. Page tab. Image. Page tab at account. Scroll pane. List item. List item others. List item. Entry. List item. Entry.
Okay, I hope this can be this can be heard.
Equals left send email from this account by default. Align font size color. Checkbox. Label color equals number 838 B8 BFF font size equals 30. Element press. Entry. New element.
Okay, now I will introduce some text in the email address.
Element press. Image. Element pressed. Image. Element checked.
Okay, it said that the element is checked, and now I'd like to press.
Element pressed.
I think that it should read this
Image. Element pressed.
this input, but well, there is something wrong.
Element pressed.
Probably.
Element pressed. Element pressed. Entry D.
Okay, so as you see, there is just a case that the element should be pressed in just a bit different place.
Image. Page tab at account. Scroll pane.
Okay, so the application have a few functions. It is multi-language. We can change this language to Korean, and
Window email. 페이지 탭. 이미지. 엘리먼트 체크트.
and I don't know Korean, but it seems to work. The language has changed. Also, we can pause the service, so it will not read.
엘리먼트 언캐스트. 윈도우 이메일. 페이지 탭. 엘리먼트 프레스트.
Stop.
엔트리. 엘리먼트.
Okay, now we stop the service, and we can start it again.
엘리먼트 프레스트.
Yeah, it's.
엘리먼트. 이미지. 페이지 탭 에드
We have also here we have also some options like
리스트 아이템 어거스. 리스트 아이템.
the speed of reading. It might be very fast.
윈도우 이메일. 페이지 탭. 이미지. 페이지 탭 에드 어카운트. 스크립팅. 리스트 아이템.
Yes,
리스트 아이템 어거스.
let's change it to English.
Window email. Page tab. Image. Page tab and account. Scroll pane. List item. List item others. List item. Entry D. List item. Entry. Checkbox.
Okay, and
Label color equals number 838 B8 BFF font size equals 30.
I think that's all what I'd like to show. The screen reader is utilize the library, the solution for the Tizen, and of course maybe it's not perfect yet, but that's the first development part, and I think it will be better and better, and people will use it in the future. Okay, so I think that's all what I would like to introduce. Thank you.
Checkbox. Label color equals number 838, the FF font size equals 30 equals left